Look at you, child. I remember when you first came to these forges as a waif, with dreams of smithing on the arms and armor of the Stormcast Eternals. Now look at you, your arms bursting with strength, and your skills refined working on the equipment of the Free Guild. I believe you're ready to work with the tools of demigods, to forge and reforge the future of the realms. Before you can start though, I must teach you the various types of Stormcast warriors you may see working these forges. These won't be all of them, as some are rather specialized, like the Sacrosanct and Vanguard chambers, and others are still secret, but an understanding of the various Stormcast roles will give you a deeper understanding of the arms and armor you will craft here. As you know, Sigmar is, well, a god. You can tell by that powerful beard of his, a beard that could even give a Duerden a run for his money. He is a power beyond mortal understanding. Sadly, he does not go into battle himself, not anymore anyway, too busy being a god and all. However, there is one symbol of Sigmar you might see on the battlefield. The avatar of his godly might, the Celestant-Prime. The Celestant-Prime was the first Stormcast Eternal, forged by Sigmar in the beginning days of the Age of Chaos, imbued with a large portion of Sigmar's power, and encased in some of the most powerful Sigmarite armor ever made. Who resides in the suit? No one truly knows. But it must have been a powerful soul indeed to be worthy of such power. In battle, he flies down on the foe with retribution from on high, causing enemies to quake in fear at his sudden presence, and an orrery of celestial fates floats freely around him, the celestial motes of light giving him insights to aid his decisions in battle. In one hand he wields a Comet Strike scepter. With a thought, it unleashes comets from the realm of Azir to rain down fire and stone on our enemies. As important as that is though, it is what is in his other hand that is much more impressive. For in his other hand he wields Ga-Maraz, the God King's own hammer. Its very presence inspires great deeds from those Stormcasts around it, as if they know that we are part of a legend. Additionally, it has a power that proves out of all the gods, Sigmar is truly the worthiest of worship. The hammer can save souls. Occasionally, a soul corrupted by chaos has a spark of goodness left within it. Some semblance of the righteous being they once were before chaos twisted him or her into one of its monsters. When the hammer slays these agents of evil, that uncorrupted portion of the soul is sent to the forges of Azir to be reforged. If the soul is strong enough, and the taint is completely removed, the former agent of the Dark Gods is reborn as a Stormcast Eternal, to fight the very enemies that once corrupted them. Although the Celestant-Prime is a powerful symbol, he is not a leader. To be a leader of the Stormcast requires a hero among heroes, a soul with so much potential, that on their first reforging, Sigmar gave them the greatest portion of his godly might, so they can lead that much more effectively. Gifted as they are, they must perform a final trial before they can lead for their god. They must find a quiet and isolated place in the realm of Azir, and meditate. But don't think of this as an easy task, child. For the potential Lord-Celestant must journey into his very soul, to conquer whatever inner darkness may cloud his judgment, or act as a weakness that could be exploited by our enemies. The form of the darkness can vary. For some, it is the memory of a creature that killed their family. In others, it is their own feelings of doubt that would hinder their actions. Whatever it may be, it must be conquered. For a Lord-Celestant with such a weakness is not worthy of leading others. As for their capabilities on the battlefield, that depends. There are many who prefer to fight on foot with their fellow warriors, wielding a Sigmarite rune blade or a warhammer, and unleash an inescapable vengeance on their enemies, while their Sigmarite warcloaks throws lightning at any enemy who would dare go in for a strike. Few things are as impressive as a Lord-Celestant leading his fellow foot soldiers in furious retribution. Some Lord-Celestants, however, prefer to lead from atop of a Dracoth, the image of the Lord of the Host that will lead the Stormcast to victory, their faithful mounts' claws and fangs aiding in their lethality, and adding some rather intolerable damage, as well as its storm breath unleashing stormy hell. Atop the mount, the Stormcast is able to wield a wide array of devastating weaponry. A lightning hammer to stun foes, a Stormstrike Glaive or a Tempestus Hammer that are ideal weapons for a charge, as well as a Sigmar Thunder Shield to throw back attacking enemies and a Thunder Axe that gains more power the higher number of fellow Stormcasts are in battle. When they were mortal, the Lord-Relictors were the mystics and shamans of the various tribes that crisscrossed the mortal realms, and, like so many others, they died defending their homes from those who would destroy it. With their reforging, they became something more. Wielding armor crusted with the bones of dead heroes and a masked skull, they became the ultimate symbols of the cycle of life and death that encompasses the Stormcast. They both act as a spiritual advisor to the Stormcasts, as well as ensure that the souls of any Stormcast slain in battle are returned to the realms of Azir for reforging. In one hand they wield a relic hammer to smash their foes, and in the other they wield the power of the storm. They can use it to heal the wounds of nearby Stormcasts, resetting bones and knitting flesh so that the Stormcast can continue to fight. They can also use it to unleash a wave of lightning that blazes electricity across the enemy's unclean flesh and impairs their senses. Many of the bastions protected by the Stormcast Eternals, and the Lord-Castellans are in charge of all of these bastions' defenses. On occasion, these defense-minded lords must take to the battlefield, and that's a sight to behold. In battle, they wield a halberd and are constantly accompanied by their faithful Gryph-hound companion. But their greatest weapon is their warding lantern, a powerful tool that unleashes a burning light upon their enemies. Against most, it is rather harmful. Against the forces of chaos, it is truly deadly, banishing demons and turning their mortal servants into scorched ruins. When used on their fellow Stormcasts, it strengthens them, allowing them to hold off the forces of our enemies just a little bit longer. Now, before you arrived to work here, you were of course interrogated by a witch hunter. An unpleasant experience, but a necessary one. Those humans are necessary to root out chaotic corruption or Nagash's servants in the cities of Sigmar. Well, a Lord-Veritant is similar. Unlike a witch hunter, however, a Lord-Veritant is a lot less, subtle. And that's saying something. Recruited from those whose hatred of chaos verges on obsessive, they are seekers of corruption and purgers of darkness. With their faithful Gryph-hounds to track down magic users, and their lantern of abjuration to banish harmful magic and damage their foes, few can escape a Lord-Veritant's eyes. Well, that's enough for now. Tomorrow we will go over the Knights of the Stormcast, and, as I recall, you have several daggers you need to finish sharpening. Oh, don't give me that look. All duties are important, even the boring ones. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on the lores of the Stormcast Eternals. If you like it, please like, subscribe, comment, press a little bell so you know whenever I post, etc, etc. If you really like it, please consider giving to my Patreon and my Ko-fi account. The extra gives me the time I need to work on these stories that I love. Anyway, thanks for listening / watching, and see you next time.